He is testing his people. He is putting us through the fiery trials of life to prepare us for this time, for this age to come, when those who are obedient and follow him, they will rule and reign with him. Now, that is not our motivation. We don't even know what that means, to rule and reign. We're just peasants here. We haven't been given any special privilege or special wealth or anything like that, and that's okay, because the people who don't have all that excess stuff, they look up and they are dependent on the Creator. More so than those who have everything and the wealth and the power and the privilege. Well, they think they don't need God because they have everything they want. And so that's why he is coming to convince the ungodly of the ungodly things in which they said and did in an ungodly way, and how they rejected him and his ways. And he's going to show them how their so-called knowledge is foolishness, and it doesn't work in reality. And it's rubbish, and it falls apart when put in practice. But the wisdom from above is first pure. That means it is easily seen and clear to anybody who has eyes to see, to open them, and whose heart is prepared, and the soil is good, so when the seeds of the word fall where they may, they take deep root, because we know they are truth, and we put them deep down in our heart and make them a part of us. And that supernatural change happens to where he infills us with his Holy Spirit. He instows wisdom and understanding and counsel and might and knowledge and the spirit of the fear of him into us. And that is his light reflecting upon the world. His goodness and his light is reflecting through us. That's why it says you don't put a lamp under a bed. You put it up at the highest place where it gives the most light. And this isn't for us to prop ourselves up or for arrogance or for pride, because he is the king. We point to him. He receives all the glory. And then on that day when he comes to reward everyone according to their works, he will call us before himself and before the Father and before his angels, and he will announce us as his. That's what's at stake. Or he could say, "Depart from me, I never knew you, for you didn't represent me. You had a form of godliness, but you denied the power." Or they reject the Creator and his ways from their mind, and so they are given over to strong delusion and corruption of their flesh, to where they do things that are not okay with each other's bodies. Man and man, woman and woman, unnatural. It's a result, a punishment, if you will, of their rejecting him and his ways. People are informed, but they're not transformed. They're educated, but they're not enlightened. James and Proverbs co-witness this powerful truth, that not all wisdom comes from above. There is a kind of wisdom, it looks good, it sounds intelligent, it feels empowering, but it's actually corrupt at its core. The Bible clearly distinguishes between this earthly wisdom, which is rooted in pride and rebellion, versus heavenly wisdom, which is rooted in holiness, that's being set apart and different. And the fear of Yahweh, which is the beginning of knowledge and understanding, when we know that he has everything established, he is right there above the firmament, watching every single thing that happens, as it were, through a mirror, that he looks down and sees the inhabitants of the earth, and they are as grasshoppers to him. He sees it all at once. To the ends of the earth, it says there's no sound that happens that he does not hear. The root of the battle is between these two kingdoms. The kingdom of the Most High, which is built on truth and purity and mercy, eternal values, versus the kingdom of this world, which is based in pride and deception and self-worship and self-love. We are told that we should love ourselves more and prop ourselves up and do what feels good and do what is best for us. Well, that's the way of the world. That's not putting others before ourselves. Okay, that's a selfish ambition. And that pride is what Satan was cast out of the heavens for. But in our society, pride is propped up as a good thing, especially pride that is wicked towards the Most High. They call that pride. That is what Sodom was destroyed for, because not only did they have sodomy, which was men and men and women, but they were excessively proud, and they had no regret. So they were shown the error of their ways when fire and brimstone rained down from heaven upon them as a reminder, as an example of this is what happens to the people who do this. But yet, in our day and age, it's hailed as something to be pride. We have an entire month of this so-called pride. Pride in their wickedness, pride in the abomination, pride in shaking their fist at the Most High. The wisdom of this world is foolishness with Elohim, but the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom. So the wisdom of this world, it is counterfeit light. It's hidden in darkness. James 3:14-16 describes this. But if you have bitter envy and self-seeking in your hearts, this wisdom does not descend from above, but is earthly, sensual, demonic. That's the worldly wisdom. Okay, it's earthly, which means it's focused on temporal gain. Do what feels good now. Survival. Oh, do I have enough for this and that? Not putting your trust in the Most High that He provides. And self-preservation. I gotta do what I do to get by. And I will trample on anybody and everybody that gets in my way. That's the way of the world. That's what's promoted. It's sensual, meaning it's driven by emotions, by instincts, by fleshly desires. That's the wisdom from this world, which is foolishness. And if you recognize these traits, know that this is not wisdom from above, but it's earthly wisdom, which is perishing. And it's demonic, worst of all, which means it is ultimately authored and empowered by Satan's deception. Remember, he is the God of this world temporarily for now, but Yahusha came and took the keys of hell and death, and he has them. So Satan knows that he has only a temporary rule. So he knows his time is short, so he is going to wreak hell and havoc all over the earth. But fear not, for greater is he that is in us than he that is in the world.